Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Saturday Morning Coffee with Back to Basics Dog Training. So, as always, for those who don't know me, I'm Leon. I'm the head trainer here at Back to Basics Dog Training, and each and every Saturday morning, I bring you this live free Q&A session to answer all your dog training questions. Any questions you may have regarding your dog's behavior or whatever, I'm here. I'm going to answer them. I'm as transparent can be, so I'll tell you the good, bad, and the ugly. If you're watching now live in living color, just please remember to put in a comment. Let me know you're here. Give me a shout out where you're watching from. And if you're watching later on in the replay, catch us on replay. Same thing. Just give me a shout out. Let me know where you're watching from, where you caught it. Tell me you caught it on the replay. And of course, even on the replays, you can ask your questions, guys. I will answer them all. By typing or private messaging you if it's a long-winded type of thing, or if I most likely will answer in the comments so other people can see how we can solve the problems. But like always, I start off with a topic of conversation until I start seeing some questions pop in. So this week, I get a lot of people asking me, what do you do if you're walking your dog and another dog comes at you off leash or even on a leash and drags its owner? How would I handle that situation? And, I always say you need to have better control of your own dog to be able to help. Good morning, Andrea and Garson, sorry. Good morning, Gail from Yaphank. And we got Andrea in Rochester. So it happened this week to me, actually, when I was out walking Zoe around the complex. There's a couple dogs that live with a family that aren't the best dogs. They have huge potential to be the best dogs. Definitely owner error with the behaviors I'm seeing with these dogs. And normally I try to, I know which dogs that I try just to walk away from. If I'm walking Zoe, not that I like avoiding situations, but there's no point in me trying to help their owners because they're not receptive to any of the help, which makes it very difficult. But I did have a case the other day where I was walking Zoe. I see the other dog coming. Unfortunately, a child is walking this dog, and the child sees me. And instead of waiting for me to get through the entranceway or exitway, they continued to come towards me. So they came around the corner. I came around the corner with Zoe. That dog instantly went after Zoe. Now, the biggest difference is I have control of my dog. Now, this little young man that was walking his dog really had no control. The dog was more powerful than him. But because I was able to control Zoe, who did go into instant defense mode, I mean, she had every right. This dog was going to come after her in an attack posture. Body language told me this dog would have, if got away, would have attacked myself and my dog. So what I did first, before I even focused on the other dog, is I controlled Zoe, put Zoe in a position where she was safe behind me. Now, again, physically I can do that, but she also takes my corrections and my directions very well. And then I was able to do what I needed to do to make sure this dog didn't drag the kid to the ground, get off the leash, slip out of its collar. But the main thing is I was able to de-escalate the situation, one, by controlling my dog's energy, and two, by controlling my own energy. I talk about energy all the time on here, how important it is. I didn't go into freak out mode because this 60-pound dog was potentially going to come after us. I stayed calm because if that dog did get loose, if I stay calm, I can think, I can rationalize what's going on, I can make a split-second decision. If I hit panic mode, which a lot of people unfortunately do, you can't think rationally, you don't know what to do. So many people get hurt trying to protect their dogs because they're not thinking properly, so they end up getting bit. And what I tell people all the time to do is just try to stay calm. You can outthink the dog. You're fat. They may be faster than us, but we can outthink them. And what I do is I just look for that opportunity. If the dog did get loose, I already had my plan in my head. Okay, I see the collar. I'm going to reach behind its neck for the collar. If I miss the collar, I'm going to grab its scruff. And then I can take over physically to control the dog from biting me or my dog, and not physically this way, not physically out of anger and frustration, but just be able to physically control it while staying calm, because if I stay calm, I can actually change that dog. Now, I got lucky because I was able to get Zoe under control so quickly. That dog actually de-escalated very quickly because Zoe's energy changed. Because Zoe, like I said, that dog came around, postured, lunged, growled, showed teeth. Zoe went boom right into defense mode to protect me and protect herself. But because I was able to chill her out very quickly, that dog actually sensed that energy and actually de-escalated, and it was easier for the young man to control the dog. One thing, you know, my goal is always that every person should be able to walk a dog. I've said this before. There's no reason why a 6 or 7 year old with parental supervision couldn't walk a 100-pound dog. But dogs got to learn the manners. And this is that case. That same family, this week, we had an incident in here where an elderly lady was walking around and they have another dog. I'm being very general on the dogs because, it's not for me to say who they are, what type of dogs they are, because the breed of the dog doesn't make a difference. A lady was walking, doing her nightly exercise, and this dog lunged and jumped while the parents were holding it, and ended up hitting this elderly lady in the hip with its claws and scratched her up and bruised her up pretty badly. And I did confront the owner of the dog, and I said, dude, this is unacceptable. And the thing I got, well, we apologized. What more can we do? And I just looked at him and I said, well, what happens if she would have fell and broke her hip? And basically, the guy didn't give a crap. And these are people to me that shouldn't own dogs, period. They don't do anything to help these dogs survive. I mean, one of the dogs, they have an oversized prong collar on the dog. The kid walks the dog, popping it, pulling it, yanking it, keeping tension on it. And you can see it's hurting the dog, and it's actually making the dog worse. And then that's what I said. The dog itself, when I seen it the first time when they first moved in here, seemed like a happy-go-lucky, typical dog. But it's got to the point, and I've said this in my lives before to you guys, by correcting this dog's hyper excited energy with tension and anger, has now actually turned this dog into an aggressive type of dog. And it's dangerous because it's a big breed dog. It's a strong dog. It's a very powerful dog. And it yanks these kids around, and it yanks the mother around, and I've seen it yank the father around. And it's doing this while it's in pain because they're not using the prong collar in the proper manner. And it's it made this happy-go-lucky dog just a nasty dog. Now, the beauty of it is I wish they would reach out to me. I've offered it to them. I truly believe this can be fixed. I do. Good morning, Michelle, Rob, and Athena. Um, I do believe that behavior, that reactivity on the leash, and all that nonsense that these two dogs out of this family are showing me can be fixed. Now, is it going to be fixed if I worked on it with them today? Is it going to be fixed tomorrow? Absolutely not. But again, if we do things right, and this is the whole thing I try to tell people, it's, don't put time frames on this stuff. Use your energy, take the time. Each dog's an individual. Dog A may get it day one, dog two may take a month to get it. I don't know. It's hard to say. But a lot of that has to come from the human. Forget what happened in the past. And I keep saying we have to forget what the dogs did in the past, because the past doesn't make a damn bit of difference. You can't fix it. You can't change it. Let's move it forward. But if we live in the past and we continue to correct the dogs the wrong way, and that's that anger and frustration that I talk about, you create the two dogs that I dealt with this week. It's just such a recipe for disaster. So I talk about it all the time, how energy is the most important form of communication with our dogs, and I truly, truly believe that. And it's with all animals. It's with the human animal. Your energy can control a lot around the humans as well. So if I didn't stay calm, good morning, Deborah, how are you? If I didn't stay calm when this dog went after most likely more Zoe than me, that situation, that split second, it literally was a split second, guys, could have been a major, major disaster. One dog would have got hurt, both dogs could have got hurt, the kid could have got hurt, I could have got hurt. It could have been such a major disaster. But because I had the ability to stay calm, control my dog first, so to de-escalate Zoe actually helped me de-escalate the other dog without touching or saying a word to the other dog. Um, and it's so hard to see. I wish at these points I always had, I should go around with one of those GoPros on just to record some of this stuff to show you guys live. Um, and it definitely is something that's beneficial to the environment around us. There's another family here that has 4 dogs. And I hear the dogs all the time. They bark at almost every other dog. They go crazy every time they see another dog. And the funny thing is I can walk Zoe with those 4 dogs, and they walk together very well because the energy just changes. My energy is good. Zoe's energy is good. It changes things. Michelle says Athena is still reactive when hears a dog outside. She ripped down 2 blinds at 2 windows and jumping and barking. Is there a way to stop this? She redirected at me this week, and she hasn't done that in a while. Okay, so Michelle, I go back to trying to set her up for success. And it's real important that you do, because you need, when a dog walks by your place and you don't know it's coming, it's harder to make a correction, because by the time you're ready to make the correction, Athena's way up here somewhere. You're going to stop the behavior, and she's still frustrated, and she is going to redirect. That's just it's a normal thing. Again, Athena's not an aggressive dog by any stretch of the imagination. And that's why I keep using the term set her up for success. If you get out there, talk to your neighbors, talk to your friends, get a dog to walk by, even a dog that barks. That's a perfect way to do, but do it on where you can control the environment. So if that's the case, you're going to have Athena, what's happening. It's happening at 11 o'clock. You're going to have Athena on her leash with her e-collar on, and you're going to teach her a better way to deal with those outside noises. It's going to take some time, and you have to be diligent, because she does have that built up frustration. She wants to get at this dog. She can't. She may redirect. That's why you have to be on your guard, not tense, not nervous. Just be aware of what's going on. But by setting her up for success, by putting the dogs in front of your house when you're in a controlled environment, helps her go through the process. And it's so important. That's why I say, if you have a dog that's reactive on a leash, you have to have dogs around. I'm not saying have 100 dogs around, but if you can do it in a controlled environment. And when I say controlled environment, it doesn't mean a fenced-in yard, guys. It's when you're in control, whatever the situation is. So if I was working with Athena in this case, and it may, I bring Zoe, I'd have my daughter or my wife or somebody walk Zoe in front of the house, and I'd just be working with her, teaching her that's no longer an acceptable behavior. And when she's calm, she's going to get her praise or her rewards or her treats or whatever. So it's definitely going to make a huge, huge difference. But you got to set this up. And when 11 o'clock rolls around, namaste, stay calm. Project what you want Athena to do. You want Athena to behave, you have to project it. If you project, oh shit, she's going to react, excuse the language, she's going to react, because remember, your energy is going to make or break it. So it's real important. Set her up for success. I can't stress it enough. I say this to any dog that's reactive to anything. You set them up for success. If you have a dog that counter surfs, set them up for success. Put food on the counter with a leash on. They go to get it, you correct them, and you teach them a better way to deal with it. If you have a dog that eats poop, set them up for success. Gather some poop, put it in a controlled environment. When they go to eat it, you correct them. It's just a labor of love, and it does work, but it takes time. And the longer these unwanted behaviors exist, usually the longer it takes for them to change. And change, even if they do really good once, doesn't mean the next time they're going to do really good. It's continual work. So if I was working with a dog like Athena, I would tell you, do this on Saturday, do it again on Sunday. If you're working during the weekend, you can't do it the following Saturday, do it the following Saturday. And the more you do it, the more repetition you do, the more consistency we stay with what we do, the quicker they get it. But you have to set her up for success. Andrea says, Garrison is now doing daily walks with his girlfriend, Patty, lab mix. Our dog isn't used to leash walking because Lucy, is used to invisible fences. I hate invisible fences. Now owner is choking her to keep her calm. How can I help her correct Lucy's pulling hyperactivity? Garrison is always walking calm when we walk them. Thank God. Okay, so again, I would have to ask Lucy's parents: is she excited before she goes out the door? Before she meets you and Garson, um, is Lucy excited before she even gets to that point? Because if she is, it's too hard to control it. And yeah, the dog's mom is not choking out Lucy. Lucy's choking Lucy. Lucy's, so again, I would suggest is have her watch my YouTube videos of master, how to leash train your dog. Excuse me. um, how to leash train your dog, and start at episode 1. Don't put the leash on the dog when Lucy's excited. Don't let episode 2, threshold management. Threshold management, guys, is huge. Hey, maybe this afternoon, Jenna. I haven't seen you guys in a while anyway, so I'll reach out in a little bit. But definitely we want to get our little Zoe under control. So again, if they can learn to control Lucy's excitement between episode 1 and episode 2, which are the two that really take place inside their own home, it's easier to control the nonsense outside the home. If you can't control your child in your home, talking about human kids, how do you expect them to behave when they're in the outside world? They're not going to. So it's just a matter of them following the steps. And Andrea, since you've been working with it, and I believe you said you watched the YouTube chat series, um, help them, guide them, show by example. Maybe have them come over to you without Lucy, so they can see how you do it with your dog. And this is why I do this, guys. I have that saying at the end of every one of my lives: together we can help one dog and one family at a time. And I truly believe that, because my goal is to give you guys the knowledge so you can help your friends and your relatives and your family members and all this type of stuff to have the happy, balanced dogs they want. But it starts with one. And that's what it's about. Um, don't try, just do. Guys, it's one of those things. I'm kind of weird when it comes to wordings. If you say you're going to try, I'm going to try, but I may not succeed. That's why I don't like the word try. I'm going to do it. Let me just do it. Like Nike says, just do it. You can do this. If the people are receptive. If they're not receptive, it's like what I started off my talk about. Thank you. Tell them to make sure they subscribe. I need more subscribers, people. So whoever hasn't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do. So like I said, I am working on something to really start getting some content out there. I'm experimenting with a new video software package. Need help myself if she opens to it, right? And again, guys, if anybody needs more clarification, anything we talk about on the live things, we can always set up a Zoom training session. Zoom training sessions are a very economical way to get training, to have a one-on-one with me, so we can discuss your specific dog and your specific issues that you're having, not this general broad thing that I talk about, in my 45 minutes of live on Saturdays. So if she wants, she can always reach out to me. I'll put my contact information up here. Texting and email are always the best two options, of course. It's an easier way to get me. Phone calls, voice message doesn't always work very well for me, because I don't know why. But getting back, so I'm experimenting with a new software package that's going to allow me to do. Yeah, reach out to me. Give me a couple times and dates. Shoot me a text or an email. Reach out to me with a couple times or dates that are good for you. We'll get it on my calendar. I'll get your email address. I'll send you the invite, and we'll have some fun with it. So we're going to be experimenting with things where I can do multiple cameras, multiple camera angles. The YouTube channel is Back to Basics Dog Training. When I get done here, Deborah, I will put a link on all the different Facebook groups that this is out on, but it's Back to Basics Dog Training. Um, look for my logo, which is right above me over here. I will never get used to this. Um, can high winds upset a dog? Yes. Um, dogs' ears are very sensitive. They pick up a lot more sounds. If you ever just blow on a dog's ears, you see sometimes they react to it. Is there a way to desensitize them? Yeah, it's a little harder. My girl Maddie, my old girl Maddie, was really sensitive to the wind, but she had the ears that straight up, which those dogs are definitely more sensitive to. Blow drying her was a trick. We got this thing that looked like I don't know, a scarf that we put over her ears when it was, we were blow drying her or whatever. But they can definitely cause some dogs to react. It's depends on the dog. It's also got a guys, just from a health point of view, especially when it's windy. Like I know we're going to be having, I think, some wind down here today. After you take a dog out on a really windy day, you may want to clean their ears because a lot of dust and debris and pollen gets into the ears. They start getting ear infections, especially dogs with the ears that stand straight up. Um, so definitely, check it. It's hard to desensitize them to that, Jenna. There is something, like I said, you can get, it goes over the ears like earmuffs, but it's not. Some dogs like it, some dogs don't. But the thing is, even if she's afraid, I know Zoe has some weird phobia, fears, whatever. Um, um, I will definitely teach you guys some tricks to work on that too. Donna, good morning. I adopted a dog and she barks at everything. Any idea how I can stop her from barking? Again, guys, barking is a real good thing. I never stop a dog from barking, but we can tell when it's okay to bark and when it's not okay to bark. Um, if she's barking at everything outside, she's doing her job. That's reality. Somebody passed the house. I have to protect my territory. I'm going to bark. I'm going to warn my pack. Stranger danger. And that's great. You never ever want to stop that. Because reality is, in my world, dog barking, if somebody's checking out the neighborhood because they want to do a break in, they're going to hear your dog barking. I don't care if it's a little Yorkie or a Mastiff. They're going to hear a dog bark and they're going to go to the neighbor's house because they don't want to deal with dogs. So barking is actually a good thing. What you want the dog to understand, though, is when you say enough, enough is enough. You got to shut the hell up. So how you could do this is, again, like I was explaining to Michelle, set your dog up for success. If she's barking at everything outside, get on a bicycle, skateboard, somebody walking, whatever it may be. I mean, you can give me a little bit more detail on it. That's okay because we can hit specifics. I would set her up for success with a leash on. And when she starts barking after a couple of barks and you go to the window or the door and you say, okay, it's just, Janie walking down the street, she's allowed to do that. I'm saying it's okay because I'm the pack leader. Then you're going to use your leash and you're going to go, enough, until she stops. And then when she stops barking, praise her. I don't want to say no to barking because to me, when I say no or nope to a dog, it's final, guys. You're never allowed to do it again. Nope, you're never allowed to counter surf. Nope, you're never allowed to jump on people. Nope, you're never allowed to do whatever. It's final. You're never allowed to do it again. So for barking, I never use that sound no or nope. I use the word enough. It's an obedience command. And remember, guys, there's a huge, huge difference between obedience and behavior. Don't mix them up. Please don't mix them up. You will get yourself up into serious trouble if you mix up obedience and behavior. I think she's a very nervous dog because of a situation she was living in. Okay, so that was her past. Whatever the situation was yesterday, dogs are nervous. May have been abused, self-survival, whatever it may be. That was yesterday. And this is one of the things that's very hard for humans to understand is what happened to these poor dogs yesterday. You can't fix it. Guys, you can't. But you can't feel bad for them either. And I always say you have to start thinking like another dog. I've worked with dogs that are nervous. I've worked with dogs that are terrified. I worked with a dog not too long ago. It was one of the rescue dogs after Hurricane Maria hit Puerto Rico and devastated Puerto Rico. We brought up thousands and thousands of dogs from Puerto Rico here to the United States a few years ago, and a lot of these dogs had no clue. They were a lot of street dogs that we were bringing in and bringing into our homes, and they were terrified. They had no clue how to survive inside this big cage in the house because they're used to having freedom, and they were terrified. And the worst thing you can do is feel bad for them. So I say, try to think like another dog. Another dog doesn't feel bad for them. You won't see another dog, for a dog that was, God forbid, abused, hugging and kissing and saying, "Oh my God, you poor baby." No, another dog's going to treat it like it is. It's another dog. And they're going to treat it and say, "Let's move forward." And that's what we need to do. So yeah, whatever happened in her past may have made her nervous. Humans tend to reinforce it by feeling bad for them. What you need to do is move her forward with that calm, assertive energy I talk about, and teach her the new rules, because there's no reason for her to be nervous today, because look at what you're giving her today. Let's change those negative thoughts into positive thoughts. And the best way I can describe that, how I did it in my own personal life, is when we first got our Zoe, she had parvo. We didn't know about it. I didn't know anything about parvo at the time. And she was in the hospital for 10 days, 13 days, something like that. She almost died a few times from what they tell me at the hospital, but she lived. And when I brought her back from the hospital, my wife and my daughters, rightfully so, "Oh my God, my poor baby almost died." Blah, 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 blah. And I let for 15 minutes. And then I turned around and said, "You know what? Today, feel bad for her. She almost died. Because tomorrow we're going to celebrate that she lived." And if you think about the energy, the mindset, everything that goes into it, almost died but lived are the same freaking thing. But she lived is such a better energy. So if you look at your dog down there and say, "Look what I'm giving you today. There is no reason to be nervous, sweetheart." There's no reason without the human conversation, just your energy. And then you're going to disagree with the unwanted behaviors, because you're allowed to. But don't forget, it's important to disagree with the unwanted behaviors, the barking. Athena's doing the same thing. You should disagree with it, but you want to turn those disagreements, those no's, those enoughs, into yes, good. And that's when you get that opportunity. And she's barking at somebody walking on the street. You correct her in a calm manner. And when she stops barking, good girl. And if she's food motivated, give her a treat. Give her some high value treats. Don't worry about giving her milk bones and crap like that. Give her something good. Make it worthwhile for her. And your energy is going to change because she did good. So when you praise, you turn those no's into yeses. They feel more confident in you as their pack leader. Then there's no reason to be nervous anymore. There's no reason to feel like you have to keep warning us every 2 seconds. We got it. We understand. We're speaking the same language. And you move them forward in baby steps. Don't expect the miracles. I say you this week in, week out. But you can do it. What happened to her yesterday, as unfortunate as it may have been, you can't change that. Let's move her forward. And your energy and your consistency, staying on track, will help her if we stop thinking about their pasts. I'm actually going to be doing in the next month or so a live seminar. I'm going to invite rescue groups from down here to a facility where I'm going to do a seminar on how, as from a training point of view, we can help our dogs move forward. These rescue dogs that have the horrible backstories move forward. And I'm going to put it out there live on Facebook. So we're going to take live questions from the audience that are there, and I'm going to take questions online. I have no idea what day it is yet, but I'm going to invite every single rescue group that I'm attached to on Facebook. I'm going to invite everybody to join me, but it'll be specific to a topic of how we can help fosters and shelters. And what I'm going to talk mostly about, Donna, is exactly what we're talking about today, is stop living in the dog's past. Stop helping the dog live in its past. I hope that makes sense. Gotta go, but we'll text you about Zoom meeting. Absolutely. Thank you very much. I appreciate you being here every week, Andrea, and I'm hoping we're doing the baby steps to help you and Garson have that happy, balanced life. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, Andrea. So Donna, I hope that makes sense what I'm saying. You can move her forward. You can get her past this nervousness, as long as you don't reinforce the nervousness, because it's so easy for us to do, because we're such compassionate people. We're dog lovers. We love these animals, and we don't want them to be nervous. So from the human point of view, it's okay. You don't have to be nervous, is actually reinforcing that state of mind. Because remember, that's what we're going after here, guys. And that's why I say there's a difference between obedience and behavior. Behavior is the state of mind. Obedience is you tell a dog to sit, they sit. Okay. Send your kid to bed, they go to bed, but they stay up jumping on their bed, they're not behaving. Um, so behavior is the state of mind that you want to get through. And if you stay, or we stay, in that positive, calm state of mind with our direct goal in place, I don't want her barking at anything. But I'm not going to project that she's going to bark. You got to think these certain. I work with dogs. I've worked with a theater, and with the redirection. I am aware of a dog possibly redirecting me. I'm aware of it. Every single time I work with any dog, I don't care again if it's a teacup Yorkie or a Mastiff. I don't care. They can redirect and try to bite me when I make corrections depending on what they're doing. But I don't worry about it. I don't sit there and say, oh my God, they're going to redirect at me. They're going to redirect at me. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Because you know what's going to happen? They're going to redirect at me because my energy is going to suck. So the calmer you stay when your dog is misbehaving, the quicker you get them to calm down. I've said this before, the higher they go on that 0 to 10 scale, your energy and your level of calmness has to go that much lower. So if they're in an 8, you got to be at a 1. Because if you feed into their energy, it's no different than when I saw it a few years ago. I was working with a customer's dog at a dog park environment. We were outside the dog park, actually working around outside just to stop some of the reactivity of the dog I was working with. And I saw it happening before it happened. There was going to be a dog fight. There was 2 unneutered dogs in the dog park, and they went in their tail straight up. They knew their crap didn't stink in their minds, and they targeted one or two specific dogs. And I saw it happening before it happened, so I kind of started getting closer to the park area. And as soon as another alpha type of dog recognized what was going on, they were going to go at it. And the first thing I noticed is all people keep running out of nowhere with this energy way off the chart trying to stop it. And it actually created more of a mess because now we're in a dog park and it was a pack war, a pack mentality situation. And once I was able to get in there, I walked calmly and I figured out which 2 dogs were the main causes of it. And very calmly, after I stopped the people from freaking out, I just grabbed both dogs. And by me staying extra calm in that environment, the rest of the pack stayed calmed down right away because they're like, oh crap, this guy's in charge. And I didn't do it with this. I did it with this. So much easier to do. Guys, you know, I can't stress enough. We're not physically controlling dogs. Anything Back to Basics talks about is never physically controlling a dog. It's about mentally controlling the dog to have that happy, balanced dog you want. Because if they're happy and balanced, guess what that does to your own life? It makes you happy and balanced. You come home and you look forward to seeing your dog, not come home and say, oh crap, what did my dog get into? What am I going to, he's going to be crazy. I just got home. They're going to jump. No, I come in. I look forward to seeing my dogs. If I had 1 dog or if I had 10 dogs, it doesn't make a difference. I was happy because I knew they were balanced. So I wasn't going to walk into, a disaster. I wasn't going to come in and say, what are they going to do? I knew my dogs were going to behave because I've always worked on balancing my dogs. And that's the approach that we use. It's not the physical. Could I physically control most of the dogs I work with? Yeah. Do I choose to? Absolutely not. Never try to physically control a dog. I go to mentally control a dog. Now, I may physically control a dog when I'm doing threshold management when they're trying to bolt out the door because I got to. But that's quick. It's stopping the forward motion to get through to the mind, and then I'm working on the mind. So if you can mentally control your dog, and you can't mentally control your dog if you're anything but calm, Mother Nature, the animal kingdom, understands calm energy. That's the language. I can't stress this enough, guys. So even with Athena, seeing everything outside is no different than when Donna was talking about barking at everything. Same theory. You just need to set them up for success by having somebody walk in front of the house and learn to control it, but you have to stay calm. The calmer you are, the quicker you get through their brains. No different than when I came down the stairs and went to the exit to go walk Zoe, and that other dog was there, and that other dog went. I controlled my dog. I de-escalated the situation without doing much. I didn't break a sweat. Now again, Zoe's very easy for me to mentally control because she understands her role, she understands her job, and she understands that I will never ever put her in a situation that should make her nervous or anxious or anything like that. So it's just how you approach it. Like I say, guys, always take that time. Zen yourself out, namaste, center your own energy to help your dogs move forward because then you'll be talking to your dogs without using your mouth. And it's a beautiful way to communicate. Like I've said, and some of my customers that are on here, I just want to say thank you so much because yes, I can see how you can say my energy was high every time she walked. Yeah, and it's my pleasure to bring this to you because that's where it's going to start, guys. I want to make. She barked. Yeah. Um, I keep saying, please share. Every Saturday I do this. Share my YouTube channel, share my Facebook page with all your fellow dog lovers around the country and around the world. I definitely want to see the number of views up here. I don't know if you guys see it, but I see it. How many people are watching? I want to see that in triple digits, four digits. I want to see. I will bring this platform because we can truly, you know, what do I say all the time? Together we can help one dog and one family at a time. And I truly, truly mean that because if Andrea talks to Lucy's mom and Lucy's mom gets into this, there we go. We help two people. And like that old, for the old timers like me, that Fabergé commercial, they tell two friends and they tell two friends and they tell two friends. And, it multiplies so quickly. But we got to get the word out there. There's other methods of dog training out there that are much, much better for the human and for the dog. I know the other training methods out there. I choose not to do it. Back to basics. I created our own style. And the reason I did this is because we can all accomplish it. Dog training is not a complicated field. I think too many trainers make it complicated. Too many family members make it complicated. Come up with a million and one different things. Positive reinforcement, force-free, e-collar training, prong collar training, whatever. There's so many different variations, but 99% of the issues can be controlled with our energy. You don't need all the fancy schmancy tools. You don't need to be, this positive reward. I'm still confused on it. I understand how it works, but I don't think it's the right thing because if my dog is barking and snapping at people, I am not going to give her a reward with a food because I'm going to do positive redirection. I'm not going to do it. We're going to teach your dog a different way, but it's not going to be an abusive way. That no anger, no frustration, no nonsense method of mine is not about hurting or scaring a dog. It's about calming the dog's mind so I can teach it a better way to do it. And that's what Back to Basics is formed on. So, we're at that magic 40-minute mark, guys. I went real fast today. I love the questions. Michelle, keep me updated. Let me know. Donna, keep me updated. Let me know how it goes. Just you control your energy to teach your dog a better way to do it. And that's how you're going to fix it, guys. I can't stress it enough. So if there's no other questions, guys, we're going to wrap it up for the weekend. I'll be live again next Saturday at 11 o'clock. So please share this with your friends and family around the country, around the world, so you guys can help me live up to my credo of together we can help one dog and one family at a time. I really do appreciate that. But if there's no other questions, as always, stay healthy, stay safe, God bless. And remember, together we can help one dog and one family at a time. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, guys. We'll see you next week.